Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit LIONS fans. Let's get to the news now, guys. Imagine the headlines. Think about the buzz around the NFL right now. A seismic shift is on the horizon, and it involves one of the most electrifying pass rushers in the league, Micah Parsons. Yes, you heard that right. Parsons, the multi-time Pro Bowler and one of the most feared defenders in the NFL today, might be heading to the Detroit Lions. And if that happens, folks, we're talking about a transaction that could reshape the NFC North, the entire NFC, and maybe even the landscape of the NFL for years to come. But let's get into the details because this isn't just speculation. There are real signs pointing towards a possible blockbuster move, and it's something Lions fans should be paying close attention to. First, a little background for those who might have missed it. Micah Parsons, currently a star with the Dallas Cowboys, has been expressing some serious frustration lately. The reports are saying he's signaling that he's done with the Cowboys, and that's not just a small gripe. That's a player at the peak of his powers, who's openly signaling that he's ready for a change. The relationship between Parsons and Cowboys owner Jerry Jones has reportedly become strained, and in today's NFL, that kind of tension often leads to one thing: trades. The Cowboys, knowing how valuable Parsons is, especially in his prime, they're in a position where they need to maximize his trade value before he potentially walks away for free or becomes disgruntled enough to force their hand. Now, why the Lions? Well, if you look at Detroit's current roster and their upcoming season, it's clear that they're not just in a rebuild, they're in a legit Super Bowl window. Over the last couple of seasons, Detroit has built something special. They've got a young core, a solid quarterback in Goff, and an emerging defense that's been steadily improving. But what they really need now is that extra push on defense, especially in the pass rush. They need a game changer, someone who can elevate the entire defensive unit, and Micah Parsons fits that bill perfectly. Think about it. The Lions already have Aiden Hutchinson, who's been showing flashes of being a dominant edge rusher. But pairing him with Parsons, that's a whole new level. Imagine the chaos on the edge with both of these guys rushing the quarterback. Opposing blockers would have a nightmare trying to contain them, and that kind of duo can turn games around single-handedly. It's not just about getting sacks. It's about disrupting offensive schemes, forcing turnovers, and setting up the offense with great field position. For a team like the Lions, who already have a potent offense, adding Parsons would create one of the most fearsome pass-rushing duos in recent NFL history. And let's be honest, the Lions need some extra punch up front. Their pass defense has been near the bottom of the league, and that's something they've been looking to improve. They've got some talented players, like Kirby Joseph in the secondary, who's been an all-pro safety, but their front seven needs that star presence. Someone who can anchor the line and command double teams, freeing up other defenders to make plays. Parsons, with his explosiveness and ability to get after the quarterback, could be that anchor. Now, from a financial perspective, the Lions are in a pretty good spot. They have the cap space to make a trade happen and even extend Parsons' contract if they want to. This isn't just about borrowing a player for a year, it's about investing long-term in one of the best defenders in the league. The potential of pairing Parsons with Hutchinson could form a defensive front that's not only disruptive, but also intimidating for years to come. It's a move that could redefine Detroit's defense and give them an extra edge in the NFC. Let's talk about Parsons himself for a moment. This guy is an elite talent, and he's not just satisfied with being good. He wants to be the best, and he's aware of his worth in the league. Reports suggest that Parsons might be aiming to break records set by other top pass rushers, like TJ Watt, who recently signed a 3-year, $123 million contract, which averages about $41 million per year. Parsons, being one of the most promising young stars, could be looking for a deal that surpasses that. And if he ends up in Detroit, he's going to want to be paid accordingly, possibly around $45 million a year, making him one of the highest-paid non-quarterbacks in NFL history. That's the kind of player who can truly change a franchise. But here's the thing, right now, it doesn't look like Parsons will be starting the season in Dallas. The tension is palpable, and the Cowboys might decide to pull the trigger sooner rather than later. If that's the case, Detroit needs to be ready to make a serious push for him. The Lions are in a position where they can offer not just cap space, but also the kind of draft capital or players that the Cowboys might find attractive. This isn't just about a quick fix, it's about building a team that's championship caliber, and Parsons could be the missing piece. Now, let's zoom out a bit and talk about the bigger picture. Adding Parsons would not only boost the defense, but it would send a message across the NFL that Detroit is serious about competing at the highest level. It would energize the fan base, excite the team, and potentially make the Lions one of the most feared defenses in the league. Imagine the possibilities: Hutchinson and Parsons rushing from opposite edges, creating pressure on the quarterback from all angles. That's a nightmare for any offense, and it could be the difference maker in close games, playoff battles, and ultimately, in their quest for that elusive Super Bowl. This move would also signal a shift in the NFC North. The Vikings, Bears, and Packers are all trying to improve, but the Lions could leapfrog them with this kind of bold move. They could establish themselves as not just contenders, but as favorites to dominate the division for years to come. And of course, it would give the Lions a tremendous boost in confidence, knowing they have one of the league's best pass rushers in Parsons, alongside Hutchinson, and a defense that can strike fear into any opponent. Of course, all of this hinges on whether the Cowboys are willing to trade Parsons and what kind of package Detroit would need to put together. It's not going to be cheap. Parsons is young, talented, and hungry. He's a generational talent at the linebacker and pass rushing position, and he's not going to come cheap. The Lions would have to be prepared to make a significant investment, possibly including high draft picks and maybe some key players, to convince Dallas that this is the best move for both sides. But if they do it right, the payoff could be immense. Imagine the impact on the team's culture, on the locker room, and on their chances to finally make a deep playoff run. With Parsons adding his relentless pressure on quarterbacks, the Lions could finally turn their defense into a true strength, complementing their already potent offense. It's the kind of move that could push Detroit from playoff hopefuls into Super Bowl contenders. And let's be honest, we all want to see the Lions in the big game again, right? It's been too long since their last appearance, and with a move like this, they could finally take that leap. So fans, it's an exciting time. The NFL offseason is always full of surprises, but this one feels different. It feels like we're on the brink of witnessing something historic. The potential trade of Micah Parsons to Detroit isn't just a rumor, it's a real possibility that could reshape the NFC landscape. The Lions have the pieces, the cap space, and the desire to make this happen. If they pull this off, they will have set themselves up for a future that's bright, aggressive, and championship-ready. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. Do you believe this move will happen? How much do you think Parsons could transform the team? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing him in Honolulu blue and silver? And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates. So stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news because, trust me, the offseason is just heating up, and we're here to bring you all the inside scoop. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Lions!